Hi, Amington Heath. Today you're going to be writing a newspaper report. So we're going to have a little look at some of the features, remind ourselves what we should be including, and have a look at my model so that you fully understand the task that you have to do. So first of all, when I begin my newspaper, I've got my title of the newspaper up here, and then I've got the heading of my actual article. So I've called mine the race of the year. And then I've included some details like the byline, so that's who it's written by, that's me, Mrs. L. Boucher, and I've got my date over here, Thursday, February the 11th, 2021. My first paragraph is my orientation paragraph, so I've already written that, we'll have a look at that in a minute. And I'm going to include a picture and caption as well, which I've put over here so that you can see those. Get your writing done first before you do your pictures and your captions, but remember to leave yourself a space to do that. I've split my page into columns so that it really looks like a newspaper article. Okay, so I've begun with my orientation paragraph, and remember that's the paragraph that tells you an overview, an introduction to show what's going to be coming next. So my orientation paragraph says, yesterday an exhilarating swimming race took place as 13 animals raced across the River Trent at the Jade Emperor's request in a bid to have a year named after them. So I've not gone into any great detail at this point. I've just set the scene and explained to my reader what it is that's happening. And then I'm going to continue my report and give the details here. So this is where you will tell your reader precisely what's happened. So it was last Friday, February the 5th, I've put in brackets there, that the Jade Emperor decided he needed a better way to mark the passing of time. He said, or he claimed, to choose a better word than said, and I'm going to include a direct speech quote here. So he claimed, comma, in my inverted commas, I was always forgetting what year it was. So I decided to give them names. To help me remember. And there's my full stop, and then my inverted commas even to show that we've reached the end of what the Emperor is actually saying. So we've said that he claimed I was always forgetting what year it was, so I decided to give them names to help me remember. The Emperor came up with a fantastic scheme. He would ask animals who were up for a challenge, and then I need to put in there, I'm going to put in some dashes to show my relative clause there, who were up for a challenge to race across the River Trent I've remembered my capital letters there because it's a proper noun, so it's a name and I need my capitals. To race across the River Trent, whoever one would have the first year named I want to include some of the other features that we've learned about this week. So another feature that we've talked about and that you've practiced is reported speech. So I'm going to bring that in through the Emperor's wife. So I've talked about whoever won the race would have the first year named after them. And now I'm going to include some reported speech that the Emperor's wife is going to mention. Now, she might have said something like, "It's a crazy idea. I told him it wouldn't work." So rather than putting that into inverted commas and saying the Emperor's wife said, I'm going to use it as reported speech and put the Emperor's wife declared, so I'm still using my better words instead of said, declared it was a crazy idea. However, using my conjunctions, however, she was proved wrong as, subordinating conjunction in there as well to create my complex sentences, as the race was a huge success. Okay, so I've managed to get in my direct speech, I've managed to get in my reported speech, I've ensured that it's written in the past tense because it happened yesterday. Let's just read it through all together before I leave you to go and write your own. So we've got all our information, we've thought about the story, you'll either be reporting on the race that we've read about, or you might be reporting on the one that you've created, your story that you wrote last week. Doesn't matter which one you do, you just need to make sure that you include these newspaper features in here and make it a really exciting read. So we've got the race of the year. Yesterday, an exhilarating swimming race took place as 13 animals raced across the River Trent at the Jade Emperor's request in a bid to have a year named after them. It was last Friday, February the 5th in those brackets, that the Jade Emperor decided he needed a better way to mark the passing of time. He claimed, "I was always forgetting what year it was, so I decided to give them names to help me remember." The Emperor came up with a fantastic scheme. He would ask animals, who were up for a challenge, to race across the River Trent. Whoever won would have the first year named after them. The Emperor's wife declared it was a crazy idea. However, she was proved wrong as the race was a huge success. Okay, so I've managed to get in my direct speech quote, I've managed to get in some reported speech, I'm including my additional information, my parenthesis there in the brackets with February the 5th and the date. You might include the Emperor's ages perhaps in those brackets as well. That's quite often seen in a newspaper report. I've got my picture, I've got my captions underneath, so I've got lots of my newspaper features going on in there. I'm really looking forward to reading your newspaper reports all about the Zodiac race. Don't forget to include all of those vocabulary words that you'll come across, all the types of sentences that we taught you last week, as well as that reported and direct speech. Have fun writing it. Take care.